I'm back for my fifth vlog of my J-term trip to Eastern Europe. We are winding down our time here in Poland. We've had a great few days, but we've had some very deep days as well. We went to Auschwitz 2 days ago, and it was very deep and sad and um, full of hard things to handle or to look at and think about. But it was an experience that I'm glad I was able to do, and glad I was able to see, and to just continue on learning more about cultural trauma and how we can move forward from it. Um, when we got around the camp, honestly, the room that was the hardest for me was in Auschwitz 1, and it was the room with the home videos. And I just walked in, and all of a sudden I found myself surrounded by these videos of people just like me and my family, just like everyone else in the room. And it was showing people just with their happiest moments, such joy, people enjoying a summer day and going to theaters, and you just see it as like you think of yourself in that position, or what if that was you, and then you think of where you're at and how all of a sudden it's taken away, and they're given what's around you and the awful conditions that is. And it was just, I don't know, that was the part that hit me the hardest. And in a way, that room was showing memorialization, I think, of those people's lives, and the and in a way rediscovering the deceased person, which is another topic we talked about when continuing bonds. We see them always as the people that died in the Holocaust, and I think it's really important to see them as people who are just like us. And so in a way, those videos or the stories that we tell, even of survivors, it's in a way you're rediscovering the people that have been lost and seeing them in a different light, instead of as a victim or someone who had died, but as a person who had lived happy and good lives before that, and who were wonderful people too. And so, I don't know, that part I found myself thinking about a lot, and I thought it was interesting. I also found myself seeing a lot of the object memorialization, or way that people grieved. You'd see people place roses or rocks or even little lanterns around certain sites. I think that was a way people used those to grieve and connect with the people that were lost and killed at Auschwitz. I had heard of the Jewish tradition of placing the rocks before, and so I saw that. I was very touched that people were making and continuing on with that bond with those that were lost. And it was very touching to see that. And you saw it sporadically throughout the camp. It wasn't just in one certain spot. It was in a variety of spots. I remember one time we were in the last barrack of the day, and I went all the way towards the back, and tucked in a little corner was a rose. And it touched me, and I just thought it was a very cool way that people were able to continue their bonds. And I found myself throughout this whole trip, after I've been able to realize and read through the readings about grief, that I've been feeling emotions that are new to me, which is a good thing. I would definitely say I've been fairly closed off my entire life from feeling emotions, and I've been lucky enough to not have really any significant losses, or where I've had to feel grief or feel deep sadness. And so oftentimes when I feel like I want to or should feel sadness, I almost struggle to, or to even feel anything. And I've realized now that I've been wanting to feel more for a while now, where I don't want to. I was always trying to give up persona that I'm strong and that I'm independent and that I can get through things. But now I see it as feeling things is not a weakness. It's not a problem, but that it's important, and it feels good to feel. And I've learned that throughout the trip. And so I've been thinking about all that we worked on with grief and trying to have empathy and sympathy for people who have gone through such trauma. I've just realized throughout the trip that I've been feeling so much more new emotions for me in the past few weeks, and I think it'll be really good for me moving forward after this trip, just to better understand others and myself. So I think Auschwitz helped me a little bit with that, which is hard to think about, but I felt like I was able to understand and feel emotions and feel things while I was there, that better helped me relate to those people. So while it was a deep few days, I think it was very helpful and beneficial, and I was glad I was able to see it. Moving forward, we're heading to Germany in a few days, and I think that's the next time I'll be making a vlog, so we'll see you then.